Werewolf Romance. Part 2, Chapter 11. Shadows of Doubt. The dawn after the blood moon painted the Blackwood forest in hues of gold, but its warmth couldn't pierce the chill in my heart. Thorne stood by the moon altar, his silhouette rigid against the fading crimson sky, his amber eyes scanning the retreating Silverfang wolves. Marcus lay bound nearby, guarded by Jax, his smug grin replaced by a scowl. The curse had weakened. Thorne's wounds healed faster, and the pack's restless energy had calmed. But Elder Soren's warning echoed. The bond must hold against one last shadow, doubt or betrayal reborn. The mate bond thrummed between us, a lifeline of love and trust, yet suspicion lingered like mist in the trees. What final test awaited, and what secrets did Thorne still guard about his role as the cursed heir? I approached him, my boots crunching on frost-kissed leaves. The graze on my arm stung, a reminder of the silver bullet I'd taken for him. Thorne, we need to talk. About the test. The prophecy. He turned, his face a mask of alpha resolve, but his eyes softened at my voice. Elara, you've done enough. The curse is breaking. You felt it last night. His hand brushed mine, sparking warmth, but he pulled back, restraint evident. Don't do that, I said, voice sharp. No more half-truths. You hid the blood debt's cost, your sacrifice. What else aren't you telling me? His jaw clenched, the scar along it stark in the morning light. It's not about secrets. It's about protecting you. The prophecy's vague. A shadow reborn could mean anything. Darius, Marcus, or... He hesitated, vulnerability flickering. Or me failing you. The admission hit like a stone, deepening our bond but stoking my fear. Was his identity more than alpha, perhaps a linchpin in the prophecy's final act? I stepped closer, the bond urging intimacy. You won't fail me if you trust me. We're in this together, he exhaled, pulling me into his arms. His scent, pine, earth, wild, enveloped me, soothing my doubts. You're right, he murmured, lips brushing my forehead. But the pack, they're watching. If I falter, they lose faith. Before I could respond, Ronan sprinted from the trees, human again, his face grim. Alpha, scouts found a trail. Darius escaped to the Witch's Hollow. And Marcus's bindings, they're laced with spell work. He's not just a hunter. He's working dark magic. My blood ran cold. Marcus, still a threat, even bound. Thorne's growl vibrated through me. Secure him tighter. We investigate the hollow at noon. As Ronan left, Thorne's grip tightened, protective yet strained. Stay here, Elara. If Darius is stirring Elowen's magic... No! I interrupted, defiance flaring. My visions tied me to that hollow. I'm part of this. The bond pulsed, urging me to prove my place. Not just as his mate, but in this world. He searched my face, then nodded. Together, then. The trek to the hollow was tense, the pack subdued after the battle. Mira walked beside me, her dagger sharp, her glance less hostile but still wary. The forest hummed with residual magic, the air thick as we neared the ruins. Crumbling arches loomed, runes pulsing faintly. My scar tingled, the bond amplifying my senses, and a vision flickered. Elowen's voice, whispering, "The debt's shadow lives in the heir's heart." I stumbled, Thorne catching me. Another vision? His voice was low, urgent. Yes, I whispered, heart racing. Elowen, she said the debt lives in you. What does that mean? His face paled, a crack in his alpha facade. I don't know. But it's tied to the test. His evasion deepened the suspense. Did the debt hide a darker truth about his lineage? At the hollow, we found fresh blood runes, their glow malevolent. Ronan sniffed the air. Darius was here. He's trying to anchor the curse before it fully breaks. Thorne knelt, tracing a rune. He's desperate. But this magic, it's unstable. His eyes met mine, a silent plea. If you sense anything, tell me. I nodded, touching a stone. The bond flared, and another vision hit. Alaric, not just killing Elowen, but stealing her grimoire, hiding it to bury his shame. Thorne, I gasped. Your ancestor stole something, a book. It's key to the debt. His eyes widened, the secret unraveling. The grimoire. My father mentioned it once. Lost, he said. Suspense tightened. Was the grimoire the final piece? Before we could search, a howl pierced the air. Jax, signaling danger. Marcus escaped. He shouted, sprinting toward us. Used a spell to break the bindings. Thorne's roar shook the trees. Find him, now. As the pack scattered, I grabbed Thorne's arm. This is the test, isn't it? Doubt reborn, Marcus stirring your guilt, my fear. He pulled me close, our breaths mingling. Maybe, but we'll face it. I won't lose you. The bond burned, trust battling doubt. But the shadow of Marcus's escape loomed, promising a reckoning. Chapter 12. Tangled bonds. The forest closed around us as we tracked Marcus's trail, the midday sun struggling to pierce the dense canopy. Thorne led, his strides purposeful, but tension radiated from him, the bond between us taut with unspoken fears. His revelation about the grimoire had cracked open another layer of his identity. Alaric's theft suggested a deeper betrayal, perhaps a secret Thorne himself didn't fully grasp. My visions tied me to Elowen's magic. But why? Was I merely a conduit, or something more? A descendant? A key? The suspense coiled tighter, the mate bond urging trust even as doubt gnawed. Stay close, Thorne murmured, his hand brushing mine as we navigated a ravine. The touch sparked warmth, grounding me, but his guarded glance hinted at more unsaid. Marcus's magic. It's not his own. He's channeling something ancient. I nodded, my dagger gripped tight. Like Elowen's power? Could he have found the grimoire? Thorne's jaw ticked. If he did, it's catastrophic. That book holds spells to bind or break blood debts. His voice dropped, raw. I should have told you about it sooner. The admission stung, but his vulnerability softened it. I squeezed his hand. No more secrets, Thorne. We're stronger together. His eyes met mine, amber depths flickering with gratitude. You're my strength, Elara. He pulled me into a brief, fierce kiss, the bond flaring, intimate, urgent, a promise amid chaos. Mira's sharp whistle broke the moment. Tracks lead to the old mill, she called, pointing to a crumbling structure in the distance. Silverfang sensed too. We approached cautiously, the mill's skeletal frame looming like a ghost. Inside, dust motes danced in slanted light, and a faint hum of magic pulsed. My scar burned, the bond amplifying a vision. Elowen's grimoire, glowing, hidden beneath floorboards. It's here, I whispered, kneeling. Thorne joined me, prying up a plank. There it was, a leather-bound tome, runes pulsing like heartbeats. As he reached for it, a trap sprang. Silver chains erupted, snaring his wrists. He roared, pain flashing as the metal burned his skin. Thorne! I lunged, but Marcus emerged from the shadows, a cruel smirk twisting his face. 2 Silverfang shifters flanked him, eyes gleaming. Touching, Marcus sneered. But the grimoire's mine. Darius promised me power. Your death seals it, Elara. Rage surged. I charged, dagger flashing, but a shifter knocked me back. Thorne strained against the chains, his shift flickering, the curse's remnant weakening him. The bond screamed, urging me to act. I touched the grimoire, its power surging through me. A vision of Elowen's spell to unbind Silver. I chanted, instinctively, words foreign yet familiar, and the chains fell. Thorne shifted, tackling Marcus. The shifters lunged, but Mira and Jax countered, claws flashing. I grabbed the grimoire, its weight heavy with secrets. We need to destroy it, I gasped. No, Thorne said, human again, blood trickling from burns. It holds the key to the final test. Atonement. Marcus scrambled up, firing a silver bullet. I dove, shielding Thorne, the shot grazing my shoulder. Pain seared, but the bond held me steady. Thorne roared, pinning Marcus. You're done. But Darius's howl echoed outside, signaling reinforcements. Thorne dragged Marcus, bound again, as we fled with the grimoire. Back at the cabin, we pored over its pages, spells of blood, betrayal, and redemption. Thorne's eyes darkened. It demands a dual offering, mate and heir under the next moon. The suspense deepened. Was I fated to die with him? The bond pulled us closer, our hands entwined, but Marcus's escape attempt and Darius's looming threat cast shadows. Trust grew, but the grimoire's secrets hinted at a sacrifice neither of us could face. Chapter 13. Whispers of the Grimoire. The cabin's firelight danced across the grimoire's pages, its runes glowing with a life of their own. Thorne and I sat at the table, the book between us, its weight a silent accusation. The bond thrummed, a steady pulse of love and fear, but the grimoire's spell, demanding a dual offering, hung like a blade. Was this the prophecy's final test? And what did Thorne's identity as heir hide? Some deeper betrayal tied to Elowen's death. Marcus, now locked in a guarded shed, and Darius's unseen forces kept suspense taut, threatening our fragile trust. Thorne traced a rune, his fingers trembling. This spell, it could break the curse fully, but the cost... His voice broke, eyes meeting mine. I can't lose you, Elara. I leaned across, cupping his face. We'll find another way, together. His stubble rasped under my touch, the bond igniting a slow burn. Our lips met, soft but desperate, each kiss a vow against the looming sacrifice. He pulled back, restraint warring with desire. The grimoire mentions a ritual at the moon altar, under the waning moon, tomorrow night. It needs our blood, willingly given, to rewrite the pact. My scar tingled, a reminder of my visions. And my connection to Elowen, could it change the spell? Maybe, he said, hope flickering. Your visions, they're not random. You're tied to her somehow. Elder Soren arrived, his face etched with worry. Alpha, the pack's restless. Word of the grimoire's recovery spread. Some fear it. Others demand its use. His gaze flicked to me. They question her place. Thorne's growl was low. She's my mate. That's enough. Soren hesitated. The prophecy speaks of a bridge, human and magic entwined. But if she's Elowen's kin, the suggestion stunned me. Kin? The suspense deepened. My role was more than mate, perhaps a descendant of the witch herself. I clutched the grimoire, a vision flashing. Elowen's bloodline, hidden, waiting to balance the scales. We need answers, I said, standing. Let's consult the archives. The Pact's archive, a cave lined with scrolls, hummed with ancient power. Thorne and I searched, finding a record. Elowen's daughter fled after the Pact's betrayal, blending into human lines. My mother's photo, tucked in my pack, flashed in my mind, her eyes like mine, holding secrets. Thorne's hand found mine, grounding me. If you're her blood, it explains your power. And the danger. As we left, a scout reported, Marcus and Darius were spotted at the border, wielding new magic. Panic surged. Thorne rallied the pack, but I felt the bond strain, his fear of my lineage, my doubt of his full truth. At dusk, we prepared for the ritual, the bond our anchor. But Marcus's freedom and my possible heritage cast shadows, promising a test of love and sacrifice. Chapter 14. Moonlit Promises. The waning moon hung low, its silver light softening the moon altar's runes. The pack encircled us, their eyes wary but hopeful, as Thorne and I prepared the ritual. The grimoire lay open, its spell requiring our blood, a symbolic offering to rewrite Alaric's betrayal. The bond pulsed, a beacon of trust, but suspense lingered. My potential as Elowen's kin, Thorne's unspoken fears about the debt's cost. Marcus's escape and Darius's looming attack tightened the noose. Thorne squeezed my hand, his warmth steadying me. Whatever happens, you're my home, Elara. His voice, rough with emotion, deepened our connection, the slow burn flaring into quiet resolve. I smiled, tracing his scar. And you're mine. Let's end this curse. We knelt, cutting our palms with a ritual blade. Blood mingled on the altar, the runes glowing as I chanted Elowen's words from my visions. The bond surged, magic flowing through us, but pain seared my scar. Thorne's tattoos flaring. he grunted, clutching my hand tighter. "It's fighting back," he gasped. The Death's shadow, a vision hit. Elowen cursing not just Alaric but her own bloodline, binding us to atone together. Was I her heir, destined to pay? Suspense gripped me. Thorne's identity as the cursed alpha might demand his life still. Before the ritual completed, howls erupted. Darius charged, wolves at his heels, Marcus beside him, wielding a glowing amulet, Elowen's magic. "You can't escape the debt!" Darius roared. Thorne shifted, protecting me, but the amulet's power destabilized the ritual. I grabbed the grimoire, chanting desperately, the bond guiding my words. The runes flared brighter, pushing back Darius's magic. Thorne tackled him, claws flashing, while I faced Marcus. "You're nothing without me," he sneered, raising the amulet. "I'm everything," I retorted, dodging as the bond fueled my courage. Mira knocked the amulet away, and I pinned Marcus, rage burning. The ritual peaked, our blood sealing the spell. The curse's weight lifted, but a shadow lingered. Darius fled, swearing vengeance, and Marcus vanished in the chaos. Thorne pulled me close, our wounds healing, the bond stronger. But Soren's voice cut through. The debt's eased but not gone. The grimoire hints at one last act, truth unveiled. What truth? Thorne's past or my heritage? The bond held, but suspense promised more trials. Chapter 15. Unraveled Secrets. The cabin's warmth felt like a fragile shield against the chill of Soren's words. Truth unveiled. Thorne and I sat by the fire, the grimoire open between us, its pages heavy with secrets. The mate bond pulsed, a lifeline of love. But the lingering threat of Marcus's escape and Darius's vow of vengeance kept suspense coiled tight. My newly confirmed heritage as Elowen's descendant deepened the mystery. Was I the key to ending the curse, or its final victim? And what truth did Thorne still hide about his lineage, his father's failed attempt to destroy the grimoire? Thorne's fingers traced the healing cut on my palm, his touch igniting a slow burn. "You were fearless at the altar," he murmured, his amber eyes soft yet shadowed. "I don't deserve you, Elara." "You do," I whispered, leaning closer, the bond flaring with intimacy. Our lips met, a gentle kiss that deepened into a desperate promise. His hands cupping my face as if anchoring us against the storm. The fire crackled, mirroring the heat between us, but his guarded gaze hinted at more unsaid. I pulled back, searching his face. "Thorne, what else are you holding back?" "Your father's death." "The grimoire. It's part of the truth we need, isn't it?" He exhaled, his jaw tight, the scar along it stark in the firelight. "My father found the grimoire years ago. He thought destroying it would free us, but it fought back. Dark magic. It killed him." His voice cracked, raw with guilt. "I kept it from the pack, from you, because I feared it'd make me weak in their eyes." The confession stung, fracturing our trust, the bond straining under the weight of his shame. "You should have told me," I said, hurt flaring. "I'm your mate, Thorne. Secrets tear us apart." He reached for me, eyes pleading. "I know, I was wrong. I thought protecting you meant carrying this alone." His vulnerability softened my anger, the bond urging forgiveness, but suspense deepened. What other truths lay buried in his past? Soren entered, holding a scroll, his face etched with urgency. The archives confirm Elowen's daughter bore a human line, marked by visions. "Elara, you're her descendant, the bridge of the prophecy, human and magic entwined." The revelation hit like a thunderbolt, amplifying my role. "So I'm tied to the curse's origin? Does that mean I'm meant to pay the debt?" Thorne tensed, his hand tightening on mine. "No. We rewrite it together." But his voice wavered, hinting at fear. Did his identity as the cursed heir demand more than he'd admitted? Soren's eyes flicked between us. "There's more. The grimoire mentions a hidden clause. Only the heir and bridge, united in truth, can end the cycle." But if doubt persists, the suspense tightened. My visions, my scar, my bloodline, they weren't random. I clutched the grimoire, a vision flashing. Elowen's daughter, fleeing, her descendants carrying a latent power, waiting to awaken. My mother's photo flashed in my mind, her eyes, like mine, holding secrets. Was she part of this? Or was I the end of the line? Before we could process, a scout burst in. Marcus and Darius are at the border, wielding new magic. Dark runes, like the hollows. Panic surged, the bond straining as Thorne's fear of my lineage and my doubt of his full truth collided. "We move now," Thorne growled, rallying the pack. I grabbed the grimoire, its weight grounding me. As we left, I touched its cover, another vision sparking. Elowen's forgiveness, a chance to end the cycle, but only if we faced the truth fully. The bond steadied us, but the border loomed, Marcus's dark magic a shadow over our fragile victory. We trekked through the forest, the pack's steps silent, their trust in me growing but fragile. Thorne walked beside me, his hand brushing mine, the bond a quiet vow. "Whatever we face, we do it together," he said, his voice firm despite the fear in his eyes. I nodded, but Marcus's freedom and my heritage cast long shadows, promising a reckoning that would test our love and unveil the final truth. Chapter 16. Echoes of Forgiveness. The forest pulsed with tension as we tracked Marcus and Darius to the border, the grimoire heavy in my pack. Thorne's confession about his father's death weighed on us, the bond a slow burn of love and pain. But my heritage as Elowen's descendant deepened the suspense. Was I meant to forgive or judge the past? The pack's eyes followed me, their trust building but tested by the looming threat of dark magic. Marcus's alliance with Darius, wielding stolen power, promised a confrontation that could shatter our fragile victory. Thorne walked beside me, his silence heavy with guilt. "I should have trusted you with everything," he murmured, his hand finding mine. The bond flared, his touch a lifeline, but his guarded eyes hinted at more unsaid. Did his role as heir hide another secret? "I forgive you," I said, squeezing his hand, the bond urging unity. "But we need all truths now." His nod was solemn, a vow to openness, but suspense lingered. What else might surface? We reached a clearing, the border marked by ancient stones etched with faded runes. Marcus stood at its center, an amulet glowing sickly green, Darius beside him, his silver hair glinting. "You can't rewrite fate," Marcus taunted, raising the amulet, its power warping the air. Thorne growled, shifting into his black wolf, but I stepped forward, the bond guiding me. "Elowen forgave, Marcus. You're the one trapped by vengeance." My scar burned, a vision flashing, Elowen's forgiveness, not just for Alaric, but for her own bloodline. A call to break the cycle. The amulet flared, its dark magic surging. But I drew on the grimoire's words, chanting instinctively. The bond amplified my voice, weakening the amulet's power. Thorne tackled Darius, claws flashing, as the pack engaged silver-fang wolves pouring from the trees. I faced Marcus, dodging his strikes, the bond fueling my courage. "You're nothing," he sneered, lunging with a silver blade. I parried with my dagger, the grimoire's weight steadying me. "I'm everything," I retorted, kicking him back. Mira appeared, knocking the amulet from his hand, and Jax bound him with silver-laced ropes. Thorne returned, bloodied but human, his eyes blazing. "You're incredible," he breathed, pulling me into his arms. Our kiss was fierce, a vow of healing, the bond surging with love. The pack's howls echoed, a mix of triumph and warning. Darius had escaped, his wolves retreating into the mist. Back at the cabin, we studied the grimoire, its final spell hinting at a shared confession, Thorne's and mine, to end the debt fully. Soren joined us, his face grave. The amulet's power wasn't Elowen's alone. It's tied to a blood right. Someone's feeding it, maybe the hidden heir. The suspense deepened. Was the heir another descendant, or a lie Marcus wielded? Thorne's hand tightened on mine, the bond a shield. "We'll find them," he said, but his voice wavered. Did he fear the heir was closer than we thought? As night fell, I touched the grimoire, a vision showing Elowen's daughter hiding a child in Blackridge Hollow. My mother's face flashed again, her secrets unraveling. The bond held us, but Marcus's taunts and Darius's escape promised a new battle, one that would test our truths and our love. Chapter 17. Heart's Confession. The cabin's firelight flickered, casting shadows as Thorne and I faced the grimoire's final spell, a confession of our deepest fears and guilts, to be spoken aloud at the moon altar. The bond thrummed, a lifeline of love. But Marcus's bound presence in the shed and Darius's escape kept suspense taut. My heritage as Elowen's kin weighed heavy. Was I the bridge to end the curse, or its final sacrifice? And what did Thorne's silence hide about the heir's identity? We sat, hands joined, the bond a warm pulse. "I'm scared I'll fail the pack," Thorne confessed, his voice raw. "My father did, hiding the grimoire. His death haunts me. I fear I'm no better." His vulnerability cracked my heart, the bond urging closeness. I leaned in, kissing him softly, the slow burn igniting. "You're more than enough," I whispered. "My turn? I fear I'm not enough, not shifter, not witch, just me. What if my bloodline dooms us?" His eyes blazed, pulling me closer. "You're everything, Elara." Our kiss deepened, a vow against fear, the bond flaring with love that silenced doubt. We moved to the altar. The pack gathered, their trust in me solidifying. Thorne spoke first, his voice carrying over the stones. I hid my father's failure, fearing it'd weaken us. I was wrong. Elara's strength is our salvation. I stepped forward, the grimoire in hand. I feared my past made me unworthy, but I choose this pack, this bond. The runes glowed, accepting our truths, the bond surging as if Elowen herself approved. But a tremor shook the ground, Darius's ritual pulsing from the hollow. Thorne growled, rallying the pack. "He's trying to anchor the curse." I clutched the grimoire, a vision flashing, a hidden heir, not me, but someone in Blackridge Hollow, their blood tied to the amulet. Suspense gripped me. Was this the final test? We raced to the hollow, the pack's howls echoing. Darius stood amid dark runes, chanting, the amulet glowing. Marcus, still bound, smirked from the shed as if he knew more. I chanted from the grimoire, countering Darius's magic, the bond guiding my words. Thorne shifted, tackling him, but the amulet's power pushed back, burning my scar. Mira and Jax fought silver fangs, their claws flashing. I dodged a rogue wolf, the bond fueling my strength. The runes flickered, our truths weakening Darius's spell, but he laughed, vanishing into the mist. "The heir will rise," he taunted. Back at the cabin, Thorne pulled me close, our breaths mingling. "Our truths held," he said, kissing me fiercely. The bond was whole, but the heir's mystery and Marcus's smirk promised a new reckoning, one that would demand every ounce of our love. Chapter 18. Shattered Barriers. The hollow's air still hummed with Darius's failed ritual as we returned, the pack battered but resolute. The grimoire's runes glowed faintly, our confessions weakening the curse, but Marcus's taunt, "The debt lives," and the hidden heir's mystery kept suspense alive. Thorne's arm around me was a lifeline, the bond a shield of love, but my heritage and his past cast shadows. Was the heir my mother, or another descendant lurking in Blackridge Hollow? We stood at the hollow's center, the pack guarding the perimeter. Thorne's eyes met mine, amber depths burning. "We're close, Elara. The curse is fading." His kiss was soft, a promise, but the bond strained. Did he fear the heir's truth as much as I did? I touched the grimoire, a vision sparking. Elowen's daughter, hiding a child, her bloodline scattered. "The heir's out there," I said, heart racing. "We need to find them before Darius does." Thorne nodded, his jaw tight. We searched Blackridge Hollow at dawn, but a tremor shook the ground, stronger now, dark runes flaring. Darius's voice echoed, disembodied. "You can't stop the debt's return." The pack tensed, Ronan sniffing the air. "He's close," he growled. Thorne shifted, leading the charge to the hollow's edge, where Darius stood, amulet pulsing. Silver fangs lunged, claws gleaming, and the pack met them, a clash of fur and fury. I chanted from the grimoire, the bond amplifying my words, countering the amulet's power. Thorne tackled Darius, their fight a blur of teeth and claws. I dodged a silver fang, my dagger flashing, the bond fueling my courage. Marcus, still bound, shouted from the shed, "The heir's blood will finish this." His words chilled me. Was he manipulating Darius, or did he know the heir's identity? The grimoire's runes flared brighter, my chant weakening the amulet. Thorne pinned Darius, but the alpha vanished, his wolves retreating. I collapsed against Thorne, our breaths ragged, the bond a steady pulse. "It's over," he whispered, kissing my forehead. But a vision hit. A hidden rune in the hollow, Elowen's final safeguard, pulsing with warning. I led Thorne to it, the stone cold under my touch. "It's not over," I said, suspense gripping me. The heir's key to the debt's end, or its return. The pack gathered, their trust in me unwavering. Thorne's hand found mine, the bond unbreakable. "We'll find them," he vowed, but Marcus's laughter echoed, promising a new test that would push our love to its limits. Chapter 19. Dawn's Redemption. Dawn broke over the cabin, its golden light softening the grimoire's weight on the table. The curse's shadow was fading, our confessions and battles rewriting the pact. But the hidden heir's mystery kept suspense alive. Thorne and I sat close, our hands entwined, the bond a warm pulse of love. His kiss was soft, the slow burn erupting into joy. But Marcus's taunt and Darius's new amulet loomed, threatening our victory. I opened the grimoire's final page, its words a blessing, not a curse. "Our bond chosen freely has nearly broken the debt," I said, hope rising. Thorne's eyes sparkled, his fingers tracing my scar. "You're my redemption," he murmured, pulling me into a kiss that deepened, a vow of forever. But a scout burst in, face pale. Darius is back at the eastern ridge with a stronger amulet. "And Marcus, he's chanting, even bound." The bond urged action, but fear clawed. Was the heir closer than we thought? We rallied the pack, their trust in me solid. The ridge loomed, mist curling, Darius's amulet glowing darkly. I clutched the grimoire, a vision flashing. Elowen's blessing, tied to the heir's choice, forgiveness or vengeance. Was I the heir or another? Thorne shifted, leading the charge, the bond guiding my chant. The amulet's power faltered, but Marcus's voice echoed, "The heir will break you." I faced him, bound but defiant, his smirk chilling. "You're not the heir, Elara, but you'll lead us to them." The pack fought, claws flashing as I countered Darius's magic. Thorne pinned him, but he vanished, his amulet intact. The bond held us, but suspense lingered. Marcus's words hinted at a trap, a hidden heir in Blackridge Hollow, waiting to tip the scales. Chapter 20. Eternal Vows. The new moon cast a gentle glow over the moon altar, its runes now dormant, etched only with the memory of our victory. Thorne and I stood at its center, the pack encircling us, their eyes no longer wary but warm with acceptance. The grimoire rested on the altar, its pages closed, the curse's weight lifted by our shared truths and blood. Yet the scout's report of Darius's return with a new amulet and a cryptic letter from Marcus, slipped to a scout during his brief capture, hung like a storm cloud. The letter hinted at a hidden heir of Elowen's, a new threat that deepened the suspense around my heritage and Thorne's identity as the redeemed alpha. The bond thrummed between us, a beacon of love forged in fire. But the shadow of doubt lingered, whispering of one final challenge. Thorne's hand found mine, his calloused fingers intertwining with a tenderness that belied his strength. His amber eyes, catching the moonlight, held a promise deeper than words. "Elara," he murmured, voice rough with emotion, "you've rewritten my fate. Will you share it?" My heart stuttered, the bond flaring with a warmth that chased away the night's chill. "You mean—" I trailed off, my scar tingling as if echoing the rune's old magic. He knelt, a gesture both human and primal, pulling a silver ring etched with a wolf and moon from his pocket. "Be my mate, not just in fate, but in choice. Marry me." Tears pricked my eyes, the slow burn of our connection erupting into joy. "Yes," I whispered, pulling him up. Our lips met in a kiss that was both vow and surrender, soft at first, then deepening with a hunger that spoke of battles won and futures claimed. The pack howled, a chorus of celebration, Mira's sharp whistle cutting through, Jax's grin wide. but the moment shattered as Ronan sprinted from the trees, his face pale. Alpha, Darius is at the eastern ridge. He's wielding an amulet, stronger, darker. And Marcus, he's with him, chanting from a stolen page of the grimoire. My stomach dropped. The bond pulsed, urging action, but fear clawed. Marcus's letter mentioned an heir. Was it me or another? Thorne's jaw tightened, his alpha aura snapping into place. Rally the pack. We end this tonight. We moved swiftly, the grimoire in my pack, its weight a reminder of unfinished business. The ridge loomed, mist curling like specters. Darius stood atop a rock, his silver hair glinting, the amulet pulsing with a sickly green glow. Marcus flanked him, a torn page in hand, his eyes locking on me with venom. You thought you'd won, Elara? The heir's blood reopens the debt. Thorne growled, shifting mid-stride into his black wolf, tackling a silver fang. I clutched the grimoire, the bond guiding me to a counterspell. My scar burned, a vision flashing. Elowen's heir, not me, but a child born of her daughter's line, hidden in Blackridge Hollow. Suspense gripped me. Was this the final test? I chanted, the grimoire's words flowing through me, weakening Darius's amulet. Thorne fought fiercely, but Marcus lunged, a silver blade gleaming. I dove, knocking him back, the bond fueling my strength. You're done, I hissed, pinning him as Jax bound him. Darius roared, his amulet flaring, but the pack's howls drowned it, their unity a shield. Thorne shifted back, bloodied but unbowed, and joined my chant. The amulet shattered, its magic dissolving into the night. Darius fled, his wolves scattering, but Marcus's laugh chilled me. The heir lives. You'll never be free. Thorne pulled me close, his breath ragged. We are free. The curse is gone. His kiss was fierce, sealing our vow, but the letter's warning lingered. A hidden heir, a new threat. Back at the cabin, we searched the grimoire for clues. A faded note confirmed. Elowen's line continued, a descendant in the human world. My mother's photo flashed in my mind, her eyes like mine hinting at secrets. Was she the heir or another? Suspense coiled, but the bond anchored us, love outweighing fear. As dawn broke, Thorne held me, his ring on my finger. Whatever comes, we face it as one. I nodded, the bond unbreakable, but Marcus's words echoed, setting the stage for a new reckoning, one that might demand we find the true heir or face the debt's return.